Yeah, I'm glad that I wore them today.
Yeah, I don't even know what pants you're wearing. Oh, you're wearing the pink leather ones? That would really make the cameras pop.
Yeah.
Know?
Oh, yeah.
No dark clothing, guys. Levi shows up in hot pink leather pants. That wasn't what we meant.
Roll the intro.
Hello? No, I know. No, don't worry about it. Season 4 starts right now. Let's go! Welcome back, everyone, to Under the Influence Season 4. The episode number doesn't matter. If you think it does, I'm sorry. It just really, really doesn't. It does. It's episode 5 of Season 4. We're so glad to be back. And we are back not only for another episode, back in the seats, but things are even more different. The secret
Even
sauce of Season 4 is that things are different, right? Also unity, the theme. But even more things are different. Look at this round table. It's not round anymore. It's oval.
Uh-oh. It's still round. It's just not circular.
You're right. It's not circular anymore. It's oval. It is still round. I know my shapes. And then we got new chairs. You can't really tell because our butts are in them right now, but they're better than we had before.
Agreed.
In my opinion. They're a little bit softer. They're a little bit rounder. So they cup your body.
They cradle you.
You cradle. That's a better word. They cradle you.
Like you sit in and then it sinks a little bit and then it's just like...
They look nice. Yeah. Well, yours makes that sound.
They inflate.
And also you're noticing a big difference. First guest episode of Season 4. Our guest, Mr. Tim Nye.
No, yeah, thank you for having me. First guest of the season is exciting.
All right, we're done with you. Get out.
And that's all we have
and that's
for
the episode. See you guys later.
We're going to need you to leave. We're going to need to bring the table back in and do all that stuff.
Yeah.
You need any help with that, or?
No.
No, you can go.
You're good.
No, we're super glued. We're super glued to our chairs. Oh, no. Somebody help. We're super glad to have you here, Tim. As the listener and viewer may know, Tim is our editor. He edits all the videos together, and he does an incredible job. So you have him to thank for making us look pretty decent, even though when we record it sometimes, we haven't.
Yeah.
Like there have absolutely been video episodes we've done, especially in Season 3, where it looked like garbage.
Are you saying he makes us look decent, so sometimes we've been indecent?
No.
Ooh.
We've been less than decent. I wouldn't say we've been indecent.
All right. Just
Have you been indecent?
not that I know of on the
People
show.
can't see below the table, so they don't know if you're wearing pants or not.
Wait,
for sure.
so I can come in without pants? That's one thing that I was wondering.
No, that's
Like,
now company policy for Christian Influence offices.
Oh, I just got
pants.
the thumbs up from producer. So.
We can see your pants.
shoot.
Oh, thank goodness you're wearing them.
Well, thank goodness.
On the normal episode where it's just the round or the circular table, you can't see your pants. But that's awkward.
Yeah, I'm glad that I wore them today.
Yeah, I don't even know
Usually
what
I don't.
pants you're wearing. Oh, you're wearing the pink leather ones? That would really make the cameras pop.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No dark clothing, guys. Levi shows up in hot pink leather pants. That wasn't what we meant. But yeah, we're really glad to have you back. If you enjoy this show, we're going to ask you really quick right at the top to like the video. I know it's disgusting to hear me say that, but please like the video. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed already. If you want us to be able to afford new mugs so that Tim doesn't have to drink out of that Venom mug like that, then supporting us is a huge way.
But it's so cool. The handle is the tongue.
It's hard to drink out of, though.
Yeah, well, it's also really dark. We said no dark things on set, and here we go. So every time he lifts that up, the whole lighting situation is going to go whack. No, if you enjoy the show, then a great way to let us know is liking it and leave us a comment. Our first episode of this season has now come out as of this week, and it went really well. People really liked it. I mean, if you're watching this, presumably you enjoyed it. But we got more views on that than we've ever got. And we don't do it for the views, But that was cool. It's cool to see metrics kind of showcase that things are working.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that one got more views than any of our other episodes have ever gotten, at least video episodes. And the Shibbles and Bits and I were talking about it, and we were saying, one of the reasons might just be that the sheer number of comments we got on that one kind of helped boost it, to people's feeds too. Because a lot of people were like, "Oh, the show's back," and commenting on it. So
Yeah.
if you
I'm
want to help the
excited
show
to
out,
see how few viewers we get on this one because we've got Tim here.
That's true. Yeah.
man, poor Tim. He does a great job.
No,
he
he
does
does
a
a
lot for us.
Tim supports us all the time.
Yes.
And Levi just goes, no.
Well, I do have to do quite a bit of touching up to Levi's face. This isn't what he looks like at all.
No.
That's true.
What you guys see is a very filtered version of Levi.
Very filtered.
I would hate to see the unfiltered version.
Yeah. No, you should have seen beforehand. We pray together before every episode, and Levi had some very nice things to say about Tim.
Yeah,
and then as soon as the cameras are rolling, Levi's just like,
Well, no, I hyped him up in the earlier episodes.
That's true.
You know?
True.
That's
But
true.
am I going to say
It's
that in
just
front
when you're in person with him, you really
Yeah.
tear him to shreds.
A knife to the heart.
It's like a knife to the heart.
After all we've been through.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're glad you're here. If you enjoy our content, great way to support it is to, like I said, like the video, subscribe, leave us a comment. If you listen on Spotify, leave us a review, preferably 5 stars. And then if you want to interact with us in a more meaningful way and you want to talk to us, you want to be a part of Christian Influence as a community, go to our Discord, discord.gg/Christian Influence. You can get involved there. You can be a part of the discussion we have on these episodes. You know, there's a whole channel dedicated to that community, or for the Under the Influence community on that server. So do that if you'd like. We'd love to see you there. And that's a way that you can kind of directly interact with each of us, including Tim.
Yeah.
Tim's very involved there. Find him on there. His name is, what is it? Shadow Slayer? Oh, yeah.
Shadow Slayer.
I wish.
Yeah. So, okay, cool. Without further ado, let's get into this. We have a hypothetical. As we talked about, I think it was the last episode, you asked, we're answering. You wanted the hypotheticals back on the show. They're back. So here we go. I've got one for you guys. If Jonah had a playlist while inside the fish, Jonah 1:17, what do you think his top song choice would be? I picked this hypothetical with intention. Tim, you're a music guy.
Oh, that's a lot of pressure.
I mean, I know what mine
Well, I mean, you're a connoisseur. Sorry.
it'd be Second Chances from the Jonah movie.
Okay. I was gonna put the caveat: no music from the Jonah movie, and I didn't think I needed to, but I think it's safest. No music
whatever.
from the VeggieTales Jonah movie. It's
Oh,
too
man.
easy. Movie.
So good, though.
Jonah was a prophet. Ooh.
Yeah, he's just singing about himself. Jonah
Yeah.
was a prophet.
Oh no! Well, the Second Chances is all about like our God has got a second chance.
That's right.
Because
haven't
all
seen
the
that in forever.
angels come in and like start, worshiping. You know, soul
Like
music.
they do.
Yeah.
It's like that was the part that you were like, I don't know if I should talk about this. And all the angels come in and they worship. And
Yeah.
we don't. They worship and stuff. Okay, so that's you mean that can't be your choice?
Yeah, it's not allowed to be.
I'm
my
going to
choice,
take
so then I
the
have to
really
think of-
low-hanging fruit before anybody else does. Under the Sea from The Little Mermaid.
I was thinking of that.
It's too easy.
pretty
I don't
good.
want to think about it too long. I'll just let you guys do that.
I don't know.
No, I'm not going to use it. I'm going to use Way Down We Go by Kaleo.
Gosh dang.
Way Down We Go by Kaleo. It's a great song already, and it's kind of fitting. So now someone else can use Under the Sea if they want.
Doesn't Newsboys have a song? Belly of the Whale?
Belly
Yeah.
of the Whale,
Yeah.
yes.
Belly of the Whale.
Yeah.
But that's also in the Jonah movie.
Is it?
It is. It's on,
Okay.
the,
Yeah.
it's on the credits.
They made it, I think, for that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that movie since elementary school, probably. So,
Did you see it on the big screen?
no.
Oh,
I was
dude.
probably too young.
That was so amazing to watch it on the big screen.
I didn't even know it was in theaters.
Yeah, it was in theaters for like 2 weeks, and it was in Salem.
I don't remember
I
that.
was to watch it. Yeah, you were there. You
Or
were
maybe it
definitely
was
there.
like sometimes they've done things like that where they bring them back and put them in. Was it one like
No.
that or
This
part
was,
of the release?
This was part of the release. So
I guess because the Jonah movie was one of their more mainstream,
it
like
was
big
it was,
budget.
It was their
ones,
big
right?
thing. They wanted to make it for theaters, so they said, "Hey, we're going to do this," and parents bought me and Levi a ticket, and then parents went too. But
No, they just let us go alone.
yeah, they
I
let us
actually
go along.
wandered into a different movie.
Yeah, that's probably why.
Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
Yep, Levi liked it. But they're like, just letting you guys know, they were like they were afraid that we were gonna get scared because we were gonna see Bob and Larry like absolutely huge.
Oh, okay.
And they're like, they're gonna be terrifying, and we're like, there's not gonna be terrifying. And we're watching like, they're big.
Had you never seen a movie in theaters at that
No,
point?
we had seen a movie in theaters. No, I don't know.
Because it seems like an interesting thing to be like, Bob and Larry are going to be really big. And you're like, I've seen a movie in theaters before. Like,
No,
I know things are bigger.
I don't know if we've seen a movie in theaters prior to that.
Yeah, I don't know. What year did it come out? You know.
I don't know. I'm going to guess
Okay, we're gonna guess,
2007.
and Shibbles is gonna check it out.
I think that's a little late.
Really? I mean, I don't remember
07?
being that. I don't remember being super young when it came out. I remember kind of being alive.
What year were you born?
98.
Okay.
Where year were you born?
What year?
Like 2002?
03.
Whoa.
Yeah, you guys are all old.
Dude, you're
We're barely. I mean, we barely make the 90s thing. I mean, you're born
95.
in 89.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
89.
89. Yeah, I was born in 89. Yeah, I'm almost in my 60s.
That is a leap.
I just spilled my water.
You spilled a lot of water.
I just spilled
A lot of
And it was
water. A lot of
02.
water.
The
02.
number is
You're
02. October 4th, 02.
Wow.
I
Dude,
think
that's
they did
before
bring
you
it
were
back
born.
into theaters.
They may have brought it back.
And that's what I'm remembering.
Well,
Or
no,
I'm
Byron
thinking of
would
the
have
pirates
been-
who didn't do anything
was
or
7.
whatever.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Byron
I
would have
was-
been 7.
I
So
was
Byron would have
7.
actually remembered it.
Yeah, no, I'm saying
Yeah.
the reason, what I'm
'Cause-
thinking
But
of.
yeah.
You would have been
Hey, when does Pirates Who Don't Do Anything or whatever, when did that come out?
Pirates Who Don't Do Anything. I'm guessing that's 05. I think it's 05.
Was it pre-Obama?
I think it was 09.
Very pre-Obama or after
The Pirates
Obama?
that don't do anything.
Was
Pirates
it
That Don't Do
PB? Pre-Obama?
Oh shoot! No, that is
Or
I thought it was
that would be
AB
Obama.
around
Oh,
Obama?
06.
around Obama, not Obama.
No.
No, it's remember I did this on a
Oh,
different
yeah,
episode.
yeah.
I accidentally said B for Bama
yeah,
instead of Obama. I was like, is it PB pre-Bama? AB around Bama? Or is it
Well, now it's a different thing because now it's pre or
Is it-
post Biden.
is it LB later than Bama?
Pretty sure it was
Later than
pre-Biden.
Was it pre Biden?
It's super pre-Biden.
Definitely.
Okay.
Anyway,
we're still in the
hypothetical-
Biden.
Hypothetical.
Yeah.
Back to that song Jonah's listening to. He on his Walkman. I'm guessing.
He's got a
He has
Walkman
Walkman,
in,
yeah.
in the belly of a whale.
Well, I don't know what else he has in there.
What
Is
is
the
it?
Walkman
The year?
waterproof?
The year?
08.
08. You were
Oh,
pretty
eight.
close.
I was
eight.
really
Close.
close. It was
Okay.
AB around Bama.
It was around,
Around
Obama.
Obama.
It was
No, it was just
January.
January,
Oh,
so pre-
it would've- dude.
It would have.
It was in trailers in 2007.
Good concept of time.
Wow.
Good. It's all about Bama. That's my concept of time. Because think about it. My consciousness, like in its prime development, is like 9, 11.
Right.
Wait, 9 to 11 years old.
Around that age.
Around 9/11.
Around 9/11, you know?
When I was 3, I do remember 9/11 happening
I did too.
because my dad was on a plane during 9/11.
Wow.
Oh,
I'm sure I told this story before, right?
Yeah, I don't know if you
I
got
mean,
it on podcast. I know it.
I relatively
Yeah.
know it, but
I
I don't
think-
know if it's been on the podcast.
Okay.
Tim,
Yeah.
did you know?
I did not know that. No.
Yeah, my dad was. His grandma had just died, unrelated, and
Unrelated.
he was flying back down to Georgia, and on.
the water is moving.
Okay,
Yeah.
hey, Shibley, do you think we should get a
Could
towel
we get
in
a
here?
paper towel or something?
Levi spilled.
I spilled a lot of water.
Levi had an oopsies
Thanks.
Yeah.
on camera.
Sorry. Yeah. So my dad was on a plane on the way to Georgia, and then it's all over the internet. Like we don't know how many planes are going to be going down, how many things are going to be happening. Not on the internet, on the
How
TV.
many plays?
Right.
Like that's like the thing. They're like, how
yeah.
many planes in the air are going to be targets and all this stuff. And so my mom was obviously like really freaked out, and so I just remember sitting there with my mom was on the phone with my grandma, so her mom, constantly, and she's just watching the TV, and I was just like a 3-year-old. Like I don't have very many early childhood memories. That's one of the earliest ones.
Did
is
you
thinking,
like understand what was going on?
I don't. I just know that my mom was really worried. I
Right.
remember seeing on the TV like 9/11, and then knowing like my dad was gone, like he was on a plane. So like there, like I think I may have understood like, oh, he's on a plane. There's something about planes, but and then obviously after the fact, I remember her explaining it. But no, so. Why were we talking about 9/11? I accidentally said 9/11. That is the
Being
age
9/11.
of 9 to 11. Like that's where like consciousness is really. I feel like for me it really developed, and that's right around when Obama was elected, and so it's really easy for me to be like,
Use that as a time frame
Yeah.
for.
yeah. And also it's like a huge cultural thing, right? First black president and all that, and people were, dancing in the streets naked like David. So like it's people are so excited, like
Yeah.
everybody remembers when Obama was elected.
Not me.
Do not.
I guess you were
I was
5.
five.
He was
maybe,
5.
Yeah, I like just turned 5 pretty much.
I
were in
remember
kindergarten.
watching the
Yeah.
him being sworn in at
Yeah.
school.
Yeah.
Because they brought in the TVs for us
Yeah.
to watch it
At WCS?
at
Yeah.
WVCS.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know if they do that anymore.
I don't know if they do that anymore, but they brought that in because
Yeah,
it was
I mean,
like
they didn't do it for Trump when we were there.
Were you there?
Well, they may have for the elementary.
Were you there when Trump was elected?
2016, dude. That's when we graduated.
I was in middle school and they did it for us.
Okay.
They
Maybe they're
they-
like high schoolers don't
Yeah.
they
care.
definitely did it for the middle schoolers for Obama.
Obama.
I was
Obama.
Obama.
I was in college. I walked in to my college room when Trump was elected, and everyone's like, "Okay, we understand. People are going to be upset, so just know that's going to happen." And I'm like, "What happened?" I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah. I'm a doofus. You're right. I wasn't in high school because it was November.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. And
I
I'm like, what's going on? And I sat next to another classmate, and he's like this. I don't know why everyone's sad. And then the guy, the professor walks in. And he's like, okay, I know Trump got elected, and we're all upset about it. And I'm like this. What? We're supposed to be upset? The new guy's in charge? Whatever.
I remember having a party with my roommates because like we just like turned it on the TV. No, we just had like snacks and stuff, and we're just hanging out with like a bunch of my roommates, and then some of their friends came over, and we were all just hanging out, like leaving it on the TV while all
Yeah.
the numbers were going through. And then I also remember hearing the rallies going around because there was like marches that were like,
On campus?
like no, just outside of campus, but you could hear like constant gunshots. Like, dude, it was terrifying because it was like it's in the ghetto part of Phoenix.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, and it's one of the probably the single most divisive things like in modern history in America for us. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, I hope in our lifetime there's nothing that really trumps that, no pun intended. Like, you know, that just usurps that as such a divisive thing.
Right.
But, man, maybe there will be. Okay. So Jonah, he's
Yeah,
in the
he's
belly
in
of the
belly of a
the
whale.
fish, the great fish
With a Walkman.
with a Walkman.
With the Walkman.
So he's listening to Way Down We Go. What's his 4 songs? Way Down We Go by Kaleo. What did you say?
I didn't come up with one.
That's a bummer.
I Will Survive.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
That got a thumbs up from the producer over there.
Really? Yes. I can't see him.
Yeah, but we're telling
There it
you.
is. There it is. I see it.
And there was a pencil in his
There's
hand.
a pencil.
That's like a double.
That's a double thumbs up.
Yeah. With one hand.
What do
You
we
guys?
got? Tim?
Man. I had that one, but now I can't think of anything else.
Which one? Under the Sea?
No, it was the Newsboys one. But
Oh,
you said
yeah.
that was in the
Yeah.
movie.
It's in the movie.
Levi's racking his brain.
dude.
Levi, you're a music guy too.
I
Come
know.
on.
I know,
He's running through his catalog
but
of movies.
nothing's like topical.
It doesn't have to be punny.
Yeah, but like I
Maybe
want
it's
it
just a
to-
good
Or on
song.
the nose.
Is there
I mean, there is a song. It's from Bifrost Arts on their Lamentation.
Yeah,
It's Oh God, Will You Restore Us?
that's a good one.
That's I mean, yeah. It's a good song.
It is.
Tim? Finish this off.
So Christian music, not.
Definitely not.
You can either even us out or just make it very pagan stream.
A pagan stream.
Wow. Man. I'm drawing blanks.
Drawing blanks, no music.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
just
too
first
bad
song
that
that
he
comes to
wouldn't-
your head doesn't have to be Jonah related, and that's what he's listening to. Bummer.
Now that you said it doesn't have to be Jonah related, the only songs that are coming to mind are the ones in the movie and the ones you guys have mentioned.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Somewhere-
Okay.
somewhere over the
okay, here we go.
rainbow?
We need to do a thought
Yeah.
experiment.
But you just came up with that.
Yeah.
So I can't
Tim,
use that.
Tim, close your eyes. I want you to listen. You're walking to your car. You just got done filming an episode with your best friends in the whole world of Under the Influence. It was the best experience you've ever had.
We're his best
You're
friends.
sad that you're not going to do it again right away, and you don't spend every day of your life doing it. But all that aside, you're walking to your car. You jump in, you know, open the door. You sit down, shut the door.
That was
You know, fire up your hot rod, and then your finger is drifting towards the volume button. You push it. What song comes on?
Piano at the Plaza.
Okay. That's what Jonah's listening to. And you know what? Peaceful.
Yeah, it would kind of calm him down.
I think
feel like
so.
It's kind of a stressful situation.
The piano at the plaza. You heard it.
Do you think it was stressful being in belly of a fish?
Maybe a little bit.
All
It
right.
depends on if he had the Walkman with him before or he found it there, because that would kind of brighten my day. If I found a Walkman
Dude,
in
if
a
you
whale.
found a Walkman in a whale.
in ancient times.
In
ancient
ancient
times.
times. But the unfortunate
Yeah,
thing
that
is,
brightened my day
he
as
wouldn't
a-
understand the words to ours.
No.
And
But he'd be like, "This is bopping."
and then, but like,
This is bop.
what am I supposed to do with this box? It has these like little cables here. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start poking things. Oh wait, there's some mute. What it? Oh,
Oh, this thing
There's
plays
little people
songs.
trapped inside of this
Yeah.
playing music.
yeah.
Whose psalms are these? Yeah. All right. You heard it here, folks. It's, I mean, in probably a similar order. You could probably go down this way, like, I Will Survive. It pumps him up. He's like, I'm going to get out of this. Way down we go. It depresses him a little. He's like, man, I'm probably really, really low down
low.
under the surface of the sea. And then calms him down, glorifies God. Sweet. Let us know in the comments, what do you think Jonah's playlist would look like, you know, and then we can go check out some of that music if it's appropriate. So it's awesome that we have Tim here because, as you know, other than just because he's great and it's awesome to have him here, he is our editor. We have a little clip for him to watch that he's never seen before. He has no idea it's about to play. This is something that we didn't see. Actually, you know what? Let's just play it, and then we can give a little bit of color commentary because Levi and I have some things to say about it. So you'll see as producer Shibs Ahoy here gets it pulled up. We don't see it, just so you know. You lost it?
We lost it.
We lost it.
Okay, go to it's downloaded. Just go to
Oh.
recently downloaded files, and you'll find it.
I think when we opened up the video that
Yeah,
yeah
that would
of
make
us,
sense.
it
Yeah,
overrided.
we were watching a video of ourselves. We're
Yeah.
very self-absorbed.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah, if you go to downloaded, it's like the most recently downloaded file. Yep, hit downloads. It's that top one right there.
top one right there. There
Oh,
it
that's
is.
on a
Shaka
GoPro.
Palaka. Yeah, it is on a GoPro.
Oh no, I know what this is.
Are we on the media reaction?
Oh, here we go.
Camera switch.
Switch.
Yeah, maybe
switch.
do a quick switch. You can
There
cut
it
all
is.
that. All right, sweet. Here we go.
We're on.
So Tim, you want to
You
walk
want to explain
us,
yourself?
You want to explain yourself doing this?
I was coming to get the footage.
Hello. This is Christian influence, but it's dark inside.
Yeah.
I think he said something else real quick.
No.
I actually think I sat there for a few minutes.
Oh yeah, we're gonna watch. So
Yeah. So we'll just let it
I
play.
closed my eyes and I was just
drifting.
I was kind of hoping I would fall asleep
That
because
would
I
be
was really
so funny.
tired.
That would have been
But
so much
it's
more funny.
peaceful up there too.
Yeah, it
Or
is.
was.
It is when it's dark and like
Yeah. And that couch, dude.
You started the video though of you sleeping.
No,
no.
Oh,
He wanted himself to fall
fall
asleep,
asleep.
so
Yeah.
he started the video.
because I figured like as Jerry was getting me the footage and he'd look through it, he would just see this, kind of laugh a little bit, maybe send me a message, and then delete it. I
Never
did not
did.
expect it to be here
oh no.
2 years later, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a, yeah.
Year and a half.
Yeah. So I didn't. I did not. I don't think I saw that when we watched this.
No,
skipped through
we
it.
kind of like skipped through to see if you said
But I
anything.
wanted us to play the whole thing. So
That's incredible.
So Levi and I were just looking through old footage and like on cards and stuff, and we were like looking for behind the scenes stuff because we might edit together. You know, we kind of want to edit together a behind the scenes thing, and we came across this, and we're like, this is so good. It has to go into that behind the scenes thing. And then Levi this morning was like, why don't we just have Tim react to it?
Wow.
But yeah, we didn't see it until we were setting things up at this studio.
Yeah. And we were
Really?
going through
Yeah.
a bunch of stuff, and it was just like, oh, what's this video? What's
never
this
noticed
video?
it.
And
Because once you grabbed that last footage on the GoPro, I never opened the GoPro again.
Right.
And then when we were like getting everything out, I was like, "Oh, there's a card in the GoPro. We should use that." And we took it out, and I was like, "Oh, I got to clean this off." And the card had stuff on it, and I saw the little thumbnail for this, and I was like, "What in the world is this?"
yeah.
But yeah, it's just.
All right, I'm done.
All right, I'm done.
I got bored.
Yeah. Well, you know, I wonder why.
Well, that was 2 minutes of you sitting there.
It's
Yeah.
just 2 minutes of silence.
It was nice. It was like kind of cool in there, which is nice. It was hot outside, so
Yeah.
That's kind of surprising.
that would've been
there's
like-
school in there.
Yeah.
August or something. somewhere in there. It was hot months. Maybe, yeah, probably August.
Oh, so that was not that long ago.
No.
Okay. My time frame's all messed up.
August?
Well,
Yeah,
That's
my
like
time frame.
LB later than Bama.
Later
So-
than Bama.
That's a lot of Augusts it could have been.
His entire waking memory is later than Bama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do not remember pre-Bama days.
Pre-Bama.
Really?
Like I remember days from pre-Bama, but I don't remember those days being pre-Bama.
Well, it's because it wasn't important to you.
Right.
But his election was very important to me. A lot of my life, was revolved around
Really?
whether, like, if he hadn't been elected, I wouldn't be the man I am today. I credit Obama with a lot of
That's crazy.
Interesting.
crazy. Well, what do you mean by that?
I mean, no, that's just kind of like that is kind of crazy that one man
was 10
has
years old.
such a
Yeah.
massive impact.
He
on your
shaped me.
life. Yeah, you would have think it would have been Jesus, but
Well, at 10
Obama.
years old,
Obama.
yeah. Wasn't reading my Bible very much at 10, but I was watching the news.
Yeah.
That's scary stuff for a 10-year-old to be watching the news.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Well, actually, to be honest, though, my mom did, like, the news was always on. I was homeschooled at that time, and so, like, the news would just be playing pretty constantly. So if you, like, walked through the house, it was just like, stock market, blah, 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 blah. Obama's elected, blah, 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 blah.
Obama's like, blah, blah, blah.
Blah, 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 I don't know. I don't know what she watched, probably Fox News a lot. It was different then, though.
Yeah.
You say the words Fox News now, and it doesn't matter what side people are on, they're still just like,
Right.
well, that's not true. Because somebody's watching it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, someone's
gotta be watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I know some people that watch it, so yeah. Yeah, it's a whole
That's
thing.
a whole can of worms.
What do you think of Fox News, Tim?
Yeah. What's your thoughts on Fox News?
I don't watch the news, so
Oh.
Interesting.
You don't watch the news, huh?
I don't. I'll
Okay.
see it every once in a while.
Then how did you ever listen to the Newsboys?
Little different, but not quite the same kind of news.
That fell flat, sorry. That was just rough.
I mean,
Jerry
they're the boys
shaped
from
by
the news.
Obama.
Jerry shaped.
Yes. We have a live. We weren't literally supposed to like bring it up, but I'm going to. We have our show notes up on the screen so that Shibbles can like put timestamps in for like possible things to like make as shorts or videos, and I just look up and see timestamp 25. Jerry shaped by Obama. Short. Yeah. I warned you. I wish the people could see. Oh my
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
All right.
Tim, we are doing something a little different with guest episodes now, and we want them to still feel like conversations. Like our guest episodes in the past have always been like okay, let's kind of talk about how we all know the guest, but presumably we might be getting guests in the future where we don't really have a connection with them, right?
Right.
And so we can't fall back on that. So we want something to fall back on, more structure. So we have some questions for you. It's going to be not super interviewee, right? But we have some questions we want to ask you. So, so this is something I'm curious of. It's a question I came up with because I think it would be interesting to know. And I've known you for a little while, but I mean, I don't know you like as well as I know them. And so something I'm curious about is, I just think that this could say a lot about a person. I'm going to keep preambling it. I think this could say a lot about a person because I think this is something that like you really get to know where people's heart is at. And I've asked this question to people before, and it's, I think, interesting. So is there someone in your life that you wish you could thank in person for whatever reason, right? Like, is there somebody that had a profound impact on you, or even, it could even be something very simple. But is there someone that comes to mind that you wish maybe you didn't thank and that you could thank for something in person, and what is that?
Oh yeah, for sure. Two people actually come to mind immediately. So I was homeschooled all through through 5th grade, and so I
didn't know that.
the only people I really knew and interacted with was like lifelong family friends, and then my siblings. So in middle school, going to youth group was like new for me. I mean, I had like Sunday school and stuff, but it was just like one or two people I'd interact with. So in middle school, we got these small group leaders. Their names were Cody and Matt. And this was like the first time I had spiritual leaders in my life that I felt like I could look up to. And they had a lot of similar interests to me. And it was the first time I was able to see that you can have like fun interests. You can be a gamer. You can play video games and mess around and just goof off while still getting together in fellowship of like, in honor of the Lord. You can still live a life that is in line with the word while, not being all proper. And because it's like all the, spiritual leaders I had seen in my life before were these adults, like these pastors and things like that. So the two of them, it was like, being able to build that personal connection and see them interact with us in that way and treat us like just like friends while also guiding us in that direction.
Yeah. I think we all have probably someone like that in our life, right? That plays that unique role. Like the role being, that's probably just like what a big purpose of youth pastors are, right? Is to be like the bridge for youth between, youth and the church, kind of like to get them involved.
Right.
Like almost like a catalyst, like to just bring them into it. And I think for a lot of us, we could probably answer that question with that type of person, right? Like someone who just made us realize that there's more to being a Christian than just like when you're a kid and it looks like, you see your pastor if they're wearing a suit all the time.
Right.
And you just, especially as a kid, you're like, well, I'm not even just a kid. I thought this for a while. Like the pastor can't be a fun person. Like they're probably like, man, imagine them at home. They're probably really boring. Which obviously isn't true. I mean, almost never true.
Right.
Like the older I've gotten to know some pastors and be like, man, these guys are just so cool. You just have to take, the time to like talk to them.
Yeah.
And not just base what you expect their personality off of just by the fact that they preach once a week. But I think that's a really good answer. Like, so you would thank them for what being the example of like living a life that glorifies God, that is still relatable, you mean?
Yeah, 100%. It's like, because, it shows that, I can still be myself. I can still like follow things and do things that I enjoy that are kind of part of who I am, while still pursuing my relationship with the Lord.
Do you think, did you ever feel challenged by them at all? Like so you, excuse me, you notice in them like, okay, they like things that I like. They do things that I do that, I didn't know if like Christians could do or not. And so immediately, you're kind of captured by that, right? Like video games, things like this and that. But then did you ever find something where, because like an easy application could be like, well then, okay, I can be myself and be a Christian. But at the end of the day, we still can't be ourselves entirely, right? Yeah. And so we are supposed to be transformed, and we are transformed, and then we should see things in ourselves change. And I'm not saying like it means like that's wrong. Like we can't play video games, we can't enjoy things. Of course we can. So do you remember a point at a young age where you're like kind of getting into that, like, okay, this is great, and then you then face something where you're like, oh, okay, I guess maybe I'm challenged a little bit, like this I can't do or whatever.
Right. Yeah. I can think of some examples with me and, my friends in the middle school where we'd like, kind of get carried away with the things we were saying to each other. And, like sometimes joking around and like, poking at people. But it's like sometimes it would kind of go too far.
Yeah.
And we didn't really realize, because it's like, they'd poke at us too. Because it's like we had that, kind of friendship at the same time. But then going past that line and saying things we shouldn't say, and then getting talked to by them, especially since we respected them so much, it like really kind of hammered that nail of that's not something we should be doing.
Right. I think that's what I was fishing for. Is like the
getting too comfortable with being, just doing what your impulses are.
Kind of like, so I noticed that same thing in my life. Like I would answer this question a similar way. I think somebody that's really important to me is my youth pastor when I was growing up. His name is Cyrus Retman. I'd love to have him as a guest sometime. And he was, someone that when I was younger, I definitely saw as kind of that pastoral figure that I was intimidated by, right? But then I distinctly remember how he would go out of his way to try to relate to me, right? As a young person, like be like, hey, what do you like to do? Like, let's do that thing. And whether he enjoyed it or not, I don't know if he did, right? Or I might have been even more of a special case. Like he probably found things to get me to enjoy, right? Because like I was pretty shy. So
Sure.
Like he might have done that. So I can relate to that, in the sense that I think that we just need more people like that. You know, if we see it work with young adults now looking back and saying, yeah, these youth pastors we had are these people that made us realize that we can be relatable and be Christians and enjoy things, you know, and we don't have to feel intimidated by like the stuffiness of suits and all that or whatever. Like, but then at the end of the day, they are made more effective by doing that. And I just think it's easy to think sometimes like there's kind of a cultural thing because you see this in memes a lot that like the youth pastor is like is not a pastor, right? Or the youth pastor is just like the pastor that wears a jester's cap and like, you know, makes a fool of himself or whatever. But at the end of the day, they're doing something unique and important and intentional that's different than what the lead pastor is doing because they are reaching kids by building intentional relationships with them, right? And like what you're recognizing is like this guy was relatable and built an intentional relationship with you. And then later, when you might have needed to be challenged, right? You said it, right? It made it more effective because you knew you trusted him. And so I just think that's great. Like, I think I would like to see more of that in people. But yeah, sorry. Were you going to say something earlier, Byron?
No, I was listening.
Okay, sorry. Not to call you out. I could have swore I thought you were like started to say something and I cut you off.
I also yawned because I am really tired.
Oh, yeah.
Studying from exams.
Ooh, gross.
I know.
Do you have exams this coming week?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I have 5 of the biggest exams I'll ever have to take. No.
In your entire life?
No, 5 biggest exams of the semester.
Okay.
They're all my finals.
Okay.
So next year will be worse.
A little bit lower stakes, but still.
Are you talking like 50% of your grades on one
if-
exam? So
If he does poorly, like on this, then he won't. This will be
That is
the
true.
hardest one.
If you do bad on this will have been the most important exam you've ever taken.
yeah,
Because it'll, I mean, yeah, I guess, yeah, kick you out.
they're like 30 to 40% of your grade on each one of the
Wow.
exams, and they're the hardest exams. It's also pass fail technically,
Okay.
but a pass is 80%.
Okay.
A fail
That's-
is 79%.
That's a pretty high.
Oh my
So
High bar.
there you go.
If you get a 79, like, do they come back to you and they're like, okay, we're going to work with you on this, or are you just done?
You have there's a remediation process.
Okay.
We have lost.
Like a flogging or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 49 lashes or 40 lashes minus 1.
Good. Keep it within.
Keep it within the legal limits.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're
no.
going to a
Don't
synagogue.
lose count.
No comment.
So you're going to a synagogue.
They'll remediate and they'll work with you trying to get you to pass because they don't
Okay.
want you to leave.
Right.
But it's pretty tough.
But they can't let people through who.
Who are
So so they're teaching us this stuff now, and I have to remember it for years and years because at the third year I have to take an exam, which is 400. I don't know the exact number. I think it's about 400 questions, and you have about 5 hours to do it. It's you have to do almost everything to a strip search, kind of to walk in.
Yeah.
Like you cannot have anything on you.
Oh, to
They-
see if you're cheating.
They can't.
I
They
think
don't
you're
want,
like they're checking to make sure you're healthy.
no, they don't want. They don't want you to walk in and cheat.
Yeah.
And so you have to like turn out all your pockets. You have to put everything into a locker, and like they're super protected. Then you walk in, you have a computer, and it says go, and you just have a timer.
Wow.
And it's just question after question.
I'm imagining you like walking in and they're like, all right, put this on. And you're like sitting at a desk in the corner of a room wearing a morph suit. You know, so there's no creases or crevices to hide anything, and it's like this rubber morph suit. And you're like,
just your face exposed?
almost 100 questions an hour. Like,
Wiping sweat off his
yeah,
brow.
it's ridiculous. You have to. I think you have to do. You do it in two sessions.
No, they give you a still suit so that you can be there for
Forever.
like 18
a
hours.
dune still
yeah,
suit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So it reclaims all your water, so you can just be sitting there.
Dude,
You don't have to go to the bathroom. You can just sit there. You know.
I was going to save this, but since you brought up Dune, Levi, you should be proud. I'm halfway through the first movie.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, Perry and I can't
yeah.
sit and watch
no,
all movies
that's good
often,
though. I
but
didn't think that you were gonna watch
ever
it.
watch it.
Yeah,
Me
yeah.
neither. But I've been, when when there's a movie that you're like on the fence about, just because like you don't know if you want to watch it or not
Right.
at all, and then people are like, it's so good, and you're just like, I don't want to watch it at all now.
Yeah.
Like some people with Napoleon Dynamite. That's I've seen that a lot of people are that way with Napoleon Dynamite that haven't seen it. They're like, I'm just never going to watch it because everybody says I should.
Yeah.
And it's already kind of a divisive movie. Like people love it or hate it. But
Yeah.
yeah, Dune, I know it's so good. I am just this way with some things. Like Full Metal Alchemist, I know it's good. Everybody says it's good. I've started it 13 times
But
and
you're
not
never going
finished
to get
it.
started sometimes.
I've gone pretty far and then just not finished it.
No, I've got some things that I love. I know that they're phenomenal, and
Yeah.
but like I just once you get towards the end, I just get distracted by something.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm that way with video games. Like, go ahead.
No.
Oh, lots of video games that I've started and I know I like them. I want to go back to them. I just haven't quite finished them. And like you just peter off and you start another one. Peter off.
And then you think
know?
about the old one, but it's been so long since you've played it. It's like,
Yeah. Like that's how it was with like the Witcher games. Like
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I've
I never
not
finished
played-
it either.
like I've like barely started.
That's a hard one to know if I feel comfortable even going back to though.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I wish there are mods you can use to like get rid of a lot of the nudity in that game.
Oh, I didn't even realize that stuff was in it.
Oh, how?
he said he didn't
He
get it.
didn't get very
Played
far.
it.
He didn't get very.
The opening scene of Witcher 3, he's in a bathtub.
Did you play Witcher, Levi?
I guess I just never played 3.
The good one?
Yeah,
Oh, that's a
I played
bummer.
through all of 1, which was
Wow, that's a
a slog
trial
to
by
get through,
fire.
dude. There's one part where you have to do this fight in a ring of fire with all these demon dogs, and there's a woman that you have to keep alive.
yeah.
Miserable.
She died so many times.
She died
poor
so many
woman.
times. Oh man.
I've never played 1 or 2 because I mean 2 looks kind of interesting. 1 just doesn't look fun. To
Yeah,
me.
1 has a horrible like gameplay like
Yeah.
loop for, and like the controls are just
3 is so fun.
That's why Levi never got to 3.
Yeah, no,
he
I
slogged
believe it.
through 1.
3 is so fun. I don't mean to try and build it up right before I say like it's not super appropriate, but it is so fun. I think it's an amazing game. So much replayability. It's like it's known for being like if you want to finish the game like in like a standard way, not even like 100% right, but standard. It's known for usually taking people about 300 hours.
Wow.
But then everybody that really plays it is like to 100% it, it's like 1,000 hours, and the people that love it just keep playing it. Like it's such a fun game. My only concern with going back to it now is like it was a different time in my life when I was playing it. I was like, this stuff doesn't really bother me, but it really bothers me now. Like the amount of nudity that's in it and language. Like there is a mod that you can get for it that takes out a lot of the language in cutscenes and things like that, and most of the cutscenes in general because they're inappropriate. But then it can't get rid of all of the random NPC voice lines, and like all the NPCs, especially when you're fighting them, are just dropping constant F-bombs and stuff at you, But the game's really fun. I wish it was more appropriate. It's one I would love to stream, but I'm like,
It's just not really.
I wouldn't stream that.
Yeah.
yeah, but
Well, Tim, we're talking about video games. What kind of games are you playing?
Oh man. I've been playing a lot of the Marvel Spider-Man game, the one that was on PS4 and is now on PC. It's like I keep coming back to that game. It's
the first or second one.
the first. I don't have a PlayStation,
Okay.
so just the first one right now. I know you love this game. We've talked about it before I ever even played it, but I got it like a year and a half ago, and it was like just from the start, I loved it, and I'm on like my 3rd playthrough now, and I'm trying to 100% it. So,
nice.
but
A man after my own heart.
and it's a game I can just kind of relax to.
Yeah.
Also, it's like
It's okay. Relax. Hey, pull Spider-Man up. You need to relax.
It's so he can relax.
He's choked up now. That's why you have the Venom Cup.
Yeah.
yeah.
But is that your favorite game?
I do not have a favorite game.
You don't have a favorite.
It's
game?
not. That is not a question that I think I can answer. It's like there's
I've
just-
asked you this question before.
You have.
And you've given me an answer.
Have I?
Oh, yeah.
What did I
Really?
tell you?
Celeste.
That's up there for sure. But then I think about the other games I've played.
Yeah.
Which one? Which one's Celeste?
It's an indie game. It's a platformer. It's
Is that the side scroll platformer where like you can jump off the wall? and
Yeah.
jump off
Like
the
going
wall?
it's
up
like
a
a
mountain?
It's
Oh, you
like
have to go up the mountain. Yeah,
a
yeah.
super precise platformer indie
Yeah.
game.
Where they
I'm so bad at it.
Did you see the botted speed run of that?
Yeah,
The
I've seen those.
Perfect
Like
bot
the
speed
tool
run.
assist
Oh, really?
ones. It's insane.
Tool assist. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful to watch that because there's a if I remember right, there's a pixel perfect moment you can jump off of a wall that has spikes on it. that
Oh,
would
yeah.
kill you. But if you jump at the right second, you can vertically jump off of it or horizontally jump off of it, and that's how
It's
you can
literally a frame perfect input.
if you do it,
And that's what's required to go to the next part?
That's right.
it
Speed
takes
runs.
off.
that's speedrunners.
speedrunners.
They literally cut off a whole level because they just go
What?
instead of having to go down around this thing and
Oh
then
my
back up.
goodness.
There's all sorts of things like that. There's like spikes that have hurt boxes that if you like input a crouch at the same time as dash, you can dash while crouched and then go right between the hurt boxes. Even though like it looks like you're going straight through the spikes,
Yeah.
you get through and you can skip like entire portions of levels by doing that.
Imagine being the guy that discovered that.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah, dude.
I mean, some people literally, they're just trolling through games to try
Right.
and find those glitches and stuff,
Yeah.
right? Like, oh my goodness. So Celeste, you're kind of like me with movies. Like I cannot pick a favorite,
Right.
but if I'm forced to say one, like I'll say The Princess Bride. But like there are a lot of movies that I'd rather watch than The Princess
yeah.
Bride.
Yeah.
Sometimes don't.
Whoa.
That can't be public.
Sacrilege.
All right, clip it, short it.
No,
Game
no,
over.
don't
Get
do
it
that.
to the
Don't do
people.
that. Carrie Elways is gonna at us or something. Like you cannot say that.
Sinner.
Yeah, that's how he says. Sinner, you sinner. He is. I don't think he'd be a fan of us. But so you can't say a favorite game.
I can't because it's like there's games that I've played way more than others that I don't really like as much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's games that I have been playing since I was very young.
What?
Like Minecraft.
Oh, okay.
It's like Minecraft is so versatile. You
Yeah.
can play it all sorts of different ways, but it's just like I don't think I'd call it my favorite game ever. You know?
But it has so many like variabilities of what you can
Right.
do, and it's so many.
Like download a mod and it's
Yeah.
a
Oh,
completely
yeah.
different game.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like, yeah.
It's crazy.
Okay, that's fair. Is that the game that you've been coming back to a lot lately? You said
Which one?
Spider-Man.
Yeah, I've been
Yeah.
playing a lot lately.
I'm like, I feel like a proud uncle.
A proud uncle.
Remember, you kept telling me I needed to play
Yeah.
it. I needed to play it eventually.
You know,
I mean, go ahead.
you know what the worst part is?
What?
We have a PlayStation
Yeah, and you've never played it.
and we don't have that.
Yeah,
game.
we never.
It's very
Played
good.
it. Never played it.
It is a great game.
Yeah, it's not for everybody.
That's true.
Like some people, they're just like, yeah, it's fine. I don't think I've really experienced with that game. Like people say they don't like it, or it's not like one where you don't like it or you love it. It's kind of like people are like, yeah, it's fine, or they love it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good, right? It's either like
Yeah.
it's like a 5 or an 11.
But it's like it's true. It's like loving Spider-Man as much as I do and as much as I know you do. It's like finally having this good of a Spider-Man game.
Yeah,
It's
you're
just amazing.
finally like,
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I've been playing Spider-Man
You
games
are Spider-Man.
since like the PlayStation 2
You
and now
feel
having this
like
one.
Spider-Man.
it's
Yeah.
the real power fantasy.
Yeah.
No, it is that game, dude. I could talk about it for so long because you said it right. Like growing up, I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. I would play basically every
Yeah.
Spider-Man video game I could get my hands on. And I mean, as a kid, you're like, this is so fun.
Uh-huh.
But it's like, but it's kind of trash sometimes. Like, honestly, I think the best Spider-Man game pre-Marvel Spider-Man for PS4 is so the ones based on the Sam Raimi movies, like the movie games, those ones aren't bad. Spider-Man 2 is pretty good, the
Yeah.
game. But honestly, Spider-Man Friend or Foe, did you ever play that?
I didn't play the real one. I had like the DS version.
Okay.
Spider-Man 2.
We're looking over it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sam Raimi. I mean, you can't go wrong. Like, great version of Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
But those video games were just so good. I played with Jude on the original Xbox, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man 2 like movie video game so much. So much.
My
like,
brother and I played that on the PlayStation 2.
such a fun game.
But Sony owned Spider-Man at that time. And Sony owns PlayStation.
So
was Sony just
they
dumping
had-
it off to other
yeah.
people?
They what?
Was Sony allowing other like Xbox and GameCube at that time to play?
Well, Sony doesn't own Spider-Man. The thing is, Sony has had the film and TV rights to Spider-Man since like 2000 or something. So originally, I mean, this is like a lot of people on the internet, you know, this is a big thing that was talked about recently because of all the Spider-Man in movies and stuff. But like what happened way back in the day in the late 90s, Marvel was going bankrupt and they're like, we got to sell off all the IPs to these movies and stuff because we aren't making any money. And this is obviously pre-MCU when they were like the wealthiest movie production studio ever or whatever.
Yeah.
And they took one of their flagship characters, Spider-Man, and put him out there, you know, and said, okay, who's going to pay us, you know, to be able to make these films? And did you know Michael Jackson almost bought the film rights with the caveat being that he would play Spider-Man.
Are
we
you
almost
serious?
had we almost had a Spider-Man movie.
What a
with,
world to live in.
with Michael Jackson as Peter Parker, just because of how much he loved the character.
I just hear dun dun
Yeah,
dun.
Spider-Man
Dun.
moonwalks.
And Spider-Man just
on the wall.
moonwalks down the wall.
down a wall.
I'd be like, oh my goodness.
But yeah, Sony bought the film rights, so Marvel still owns the character.
Right.
He's
Yeah,
still
yeah.
a Marvel character. So the way that works is Marvel kept all of the the merchandising rights as well, which I think includes video games. I'm pretty sure.
I think so, and I think the Spider-Man PlayStation game, like
Yeah.
the new one, being a PlayStation exclusive, is not related to Sony owning
I don't think so.
the TV and film rights. For
It's just
Spider-Man.
because of what's the company that makes the game?
Insomniac.
Insomniac
Yeah.
is like a PlayStation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all of their games, I'm pretty sure.
So
I could-
Except for
everything
Sunset Overdrive.
except for
Right.
Sunset Overdrive. That's the only one that's not.
Yeah.
right.
Which
And we'll see if Wolverine. But
I'm a big fan of
Yeah.
Insomniac games.
oh yeah, Insomniac.
100%.
Good games, dude.
Like those were our
100%.
games.
I mean, I'm sure we shouldn't say it's entirely unrelated that they're a Sony exclusive. I mean, it's just like there's probably some good blood there, but
But that's
yeah.
not why.
That was trying to figure out if that was why or not.
yeah, I don't think it is. I think it's just that because it was on the Xbox and everything else as well. So it was just that they had exclusive rights to make the movies, Sony did, and then Marvel probably went to some video game development company and said, "Hey, make this game," and then it was on every console.
Right.
Because they had all the merchant. Dude, they basically did that being like, okay, you make the movies, and if you make a big movie, it will be good for us. It'll save our company because then they can sell toys. Like those movies just sell toys and video games and things like that. So they made their money. And then, fast forward way later, once there's been 2 versions of Spider-Man and the MCU is going strong and they're like, okay, we want our golden boy back. Then they made that deal or whatever. And so Sony technically owns it. And the deal is like Sony owns those. The way they shopped out all those IPs is they're like, you have it, you get the IP, you can make a movie with these characters unless you go like 7 years or something without
Without doing
making it. And if you don't make a movie within 7 years with one of those characters, it comes back to us. And so that's what happened with the Incredible Hulk. Like Universal or whoever made that original movie, like they didn't make one for so long. And then now Marvel has Hulk back as their own.
Isn't there still something though? Like Hulk can't get his solo movie for some reason.
I
thought there was
think that was what it was
yeah.
for a while, but I'm pretty sure now he's back.
Oh,
Okay.
I thought that was just because the actor didn't want to.
No, I'm pretty sure.
No.
I'm pretty sure there was a reason they couldn't. do
Yeah,
it.
so then they were allowed to like use the character. You just couldn't give him a solo movie because that was Universal.
So they did all of his character stuff in
Yeah.
other characters' movies.
Yeah, but I think he's back now. I don't
Okay.
know, but maybe not. But yeah, hearing you say, I literally in our list of like guests for the season and for future seasons and stuff, I had you listed in there, and then I have like a little descriptor for each person and like contact info. So I'll say like, one of them says Hunter Hoover, contact info, here it is, and then it says like our relation to him, and it'll say he's a friend, fellow believer, he has a podcast himself. Yours says Tim Nye, I think it has your phone number or your email, and then it says like friend, video editor, and almost as big a fan of Spider-Man as me or something like that. So I'm glad Spider-Man came up.
Yeah.
But yeah, we used to talk about Spider-Man all the time when we were working Susie Q's together.
Oh yeah.
It was like
every day.
Oh,
some
every day.
Spider-Man conversation.
every
would come up.
day.
Oh my gosh.
David was always like, "Oh my goodness, dude. Like, it's just ridiculous." But yeah, it was because at that time it was leading up to Spider-Man No Way Home coming out.
Yeah.
and
So
it was
much
like every day.
excitement.
Yeah, every
Yeah.
day it's like, what do you think the trailer will have in it? And we
Yeah.
had the same conversation, and then the trailer came out, and we were like, we both got to work and like looked at each other like. We gotta talk about it. But yeah, that was fun. No, I'm glad you liked that game. I think it's such a fun game. You guys should try it out. I think I have it on disc, or Joel has it now, but it's a fun game. Yeah.
Yeah. So back to something a little bit more serious. So how do you stay motivated and encouraged with your walk with God when you have setbacks or just like staying motivated to be a part of ministries and your everyday life as well?
Okay. That's a good question. I mean, there's like all the go-to answers, spend time in the Word, spend time in prayer. Another big thing is like, fellowship, having people to support you that are also fellow believers. Iron sharpens iron. So it's like, but a big thing that I've been spending the past few years working on has been, lean not on your own understanding. I've done some thinking about faith and like what the concept of faith is. And I realized that for a lot of time, I was using faith to fill the gaps where my knowledge was not there. So it was kind of like a crutch for it's like, I understand this and I know this, but here's this little spot. Oh, well, it's like, I have faith, I don't have to worry about that because I have faith. But more recently, I've been trying to not lean on what I know and what I can see and it was tangible and use faith as the foundation for all of it. It's what drives me in knowing more. It's the base, not the little blocks that hold stuff together.
Yeah, I like that.
Especially as, going through challenges, those unknown spots get bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
And it's like, as people, I'm sure all of it, we like to know what's going to happen and we like to know what's going on, but we just don't get that luxury a lot of the time. And knowing that God is in control and that we don't need to know, and we should trust. It's like that has been a challenge for me to get to that point, but it's been really important to me.
That's good. I think it's like if the foundation of your walk with Christ is faith, right? Then you're choosing from the get-go to believe that his ways are higher than your ways, right? And if that's the case, then it's almost as if when you encounter those little setbacks or the things that you don't know, it's like you're just falling back on something that already is there. Right? Because if that's the foundation, you're falling back on it rather than having to remind yourself, And it's kind of like when unbelievers come to a believer, they see faith as blind faith, right? It's like, it's just filling in the cracks.
Yeah.
And it's hard to combat that sort of, because like even if that is the way you treat it, like you kind of talk about like in your life, there's a period of time where that's really what it was. It's like you can't really refute that if someone says that to you, because when they say it, it's like, yeah, that does sound bad. How do I justify it then? It's like, well, maybe that's not the way it's supposed to be, right? We are supposed to, from the beginning and from the get-go, remember.
Yeah, and we're kind of like filling in the cracks. Oh, that's what God was trying to do there. That's why God does the things that he does. And then like instead of every time that you have a setback, you don't go, oh shoot, I don't understand what's going on. Instead of being like the oh shoot and then like, oh, I'll just put faith there.
Right.
I'll just put faith there.
Yeah, it's like using like a little
instead
piece
like
to hold it up.
having the faith there and then being like as the foundation, and then when you know more, then you can like add to that and be like, oh, this is a good foundation. Like
Yeah, sorry, I'm not keep talking.
No.
I'm looking up a Bible verse.
Yeah, I mean that's just kind of how, because I know that you were there with the Jerry was at a Bible study where we're talking and like I mentioned like it's a scary thing that we have a God that is like that is all powerful, is all good, and like so he does what's right, and we know that. But like when you're going through the slog and you don't see the good that comes out of it, because we also know God does all things for the good of those that love him, right? And but when we're going through those times where we can't see the good that's coming out, we have all of these other anecdotal from other people that we know and own life like our own anecdotal experiences, and we have the Bible filled with all of these times and lessons that God has taught and the things that God has done, or like terrible things that somebody had to go through, or something that other people impacted to cause to happen. God used it all for good. Like it wasn't all just, oh, now you're just in that and nothing's good gonna come out of it. You're just gonna toil away. But like, even if it wasn't experienced by those persons, we can see that there is good that comes out of it. And like, so that's the scary thing when we are going through terrible things and we can't see the good that comes out of it. We may never see any good come out of it.
You just got to trust that.
We have to trust and have faith that God that's way smarter and more intelligent, wiser, and all powerful, like that he knows what's right and he will do the right thing. And when we pray for things that aren't the right thing and he says no, and we're like, that's stupid.
Yeah, and the hardest part of that is having that faith when you don't get to see what's happening, because it's like it feels like nothing's coming out of this, but we know that there is.
But we know that there is, but we can't see it. And we have all these times of, oh yeah, there was that thing that happened, but then I saw like literally the next day that this incredible thing happened. But there are other times that it's literally like
it's unseen. It goes unseen forever.
Like Isaiah, who preaches his entire life and no one will hear him.
Yeah.
But we get the vast majority of all of our prophecies of the Christ through him. But he never gets to see it until he's already dead and gone.
Yeah, and I think something that I've been thinking a lot about lately that is related to what you're saying is when we're going through those difficult things, or even not going through a difficult thing, but we're just hoping for good things, an easy mistake I think that we make, especially as believers, is when we pray for good things, thinking that the correlation between a good thing and the right thing is equal, right? Like just because something's a good thing doesn't mean it's the right thing, right? And often the right thing might be just a different good thing, or it might be a different difficult thing ending up in the right in a good thing, right? Or like ending up the right way. And so it's really easy to pray and hope and pray for this good thing to happen, right? And it's not wrong to do that, because I'm just thinking about like what we talked about at that Bible study that you were bringing up, like during difficult times, we pray for good things, and it doesn't mean we shouldn't. We just have to remember that sometimes that good thing, we can be right about it being good, but it might not be the right thing. But we can have this assurance that, like Levi said, we pray for good things and we know that God always does good, but he might not do the good we want, but we can remember that he always does the right thing.
Yeah.
It's always the right thing.
That's a much better distinction.
Yeah.
I just like thinking about it that way. I've been using that a lot lately, talking to people, is like, keep praying for good things, and everything God does is good. Like we see, right? Good, for those who love him, but might not be the good thing we're thinking, but we just have to remember that it's always the right thing. And I just saw that in my life for sure. Like I was in high school, I was dating. I'm like, I want to marry this person. That seems like it would be a good thing. Definitely wasn't the right thing.
Right.
Even if I thought it, now, like I mean, at the time, especially, it's like, yeah, this would be a good thing,
Yeah.
And I'm praying for a good thing. I'm praying, God, I want to be married and be a good husband and be a good father. That would be a good thing, right? And he didn't give me that, and I'm so glad he didn't, right? Yeah. I'm married now, and I'm very glad that I didn't get married then, because I'm very glad that I'm married to Perry. But yeah, it's just like, it's that we always come back to this, and it's just it comes again back to that thing that Matt has said, that he taught out of the Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego thing, is he will, but even still, it's that kind of mentality of the like, pray for the good things, believe God will do good things, but remember he'll always do the right thing. So even if he doesn't do the good thing you're praying for, he's doing the right thing. And so it's cool.
Not our will be done, but God's.
Yeah, and his ways are higher than ours. So, I mean, remember that, right? Like, that's so much better than the things that we think are good happening. It reminded me of Hebrews 11, right? That's the faith chapter, right? Just so much of it is about faith. And specifically it reminded me of Hebrews 11:6. Now, Hebrews 11:1 is the part that gives us the definition of faith, but Hebrews 11:6 says, now without faith, it is impossible to please him, for the one who approaches God must believe that he exists and that he rewards those who seek him. That just kind of made me, what you were talking about, how like it should be the foundation rather than the gum or the glue that we stick into the cracks. Like, this kind of says that without faith, it's impossible to please him, for the one who approaches God must believe that he exists and that he rewards those who seek him. And then Hebrews 11:1. I don't read the whole thing just because the stuff between that is like the list of people, a bunch of people that Old Testament saints essentially, right? Which is a good thing to read. I just mean for our purposes here. Hebrews 11:1 is, now faith is being sure of what we hope for, being convinced of what we do not see, right? Like, we don't always see that. It's in this example that Levi's using, right? We don't always see what the outcome is, or that both of you are using, I should say. But it's the being convinced that, like, what is that thing we're convinced of that we aren't seeing? It is that God is going to do the right thing, right? It is that God is in control, and he is always right, and that his ways are higher than our ways. And we are convinced of that. That is the faith we have in him. And if that's the foundation, dude, you shouldn't find yourself where you have to shove something in the
Yeah.
cracks. At least I hope not. No, I have faith that we don't. Right. So that's awesome, dude. That's a great way to stay. And like, what a great answer to that question. Like, because you're right in recognizing that. How do you stay motivated in ministry or daily walk with Christ amid challenges and setbacks? Like, super easy to be like, well, I pray and I read the Bible. It's like, okay, yeah, and those things do help. We should all be doing that. But I think that it's cool to hear how God has recently taught you specifically, like you individually, just
Right.
this is where you need to be. And it'd be cool to see in 10 years or whatever where you are then
Yeah.
with that, right?
Right.
That's cool. All right. Are we done?
I don't
Are
know.
we done?
Are you done, Tim?
I think so.
Do you
I
feel
don't
good
have-
about where you're at?
Yeah,
Feel good about
Are
it?
you gonna
Yeah.
just leave?
I guess so.
Like the entire time that we're setting up everything, all he does is threaten. Like I
Yeah.
can go.
I can leave. I can leave now.
Yeah, I think we're just at over an hour there. Go ahead, Byron.
I had one more question for him.
Yeah, I think you should go for it.
Oh yeah. Of course.
I want you to tell us a joke.
A joke?
Dude, I was gonna forget that. I'm really
Oh,
glad.
I'm on this.
Thank
I'm on
you,
this like
Byron.
glue.
I just
'cause
I
I-
find it so funny that you're like, I need to ask a question. You need to tell us a joke.
Here's a statement.
It's a statement, not a
No,
question.
Not
Tell
a
us a
statement. Here's a
joke?
command.
Here's a commandment. You must tell us a joke.
The 11th
The 11th
commandment.
commandment.
So we do this with the guest episodes, or we're trying to do it.
I'm
with
sure
guest
you're not
episodes.
aware, but
Yeah, you only edit every episode of ours, so you
Were
don't
you expecting
really know.
it?
No, I completely forgot about it.
oh,
I
that's
forgot
so
too,
much
dude.
better.
Yes,
It's
Here
been a
we go.
long time since I've edited.
So then you're go.
Give us a
You
joke.
know,
Go.
you got
Go.
no preparation. Go.
Go.
okay, this is a really bad joke.
That's fine.
That's
I
the
love
point.
It.
What did the dog do when it ate a firefly?
Hang on.
Oh, what did the dog do when it ate a firefly?
It lit up.
That would be a bad joke.
That'd be a bad joke.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know.
Can we get a firefly in here and see what Shop Dog does?
Yeah, let's.
Yeah. Firefly.
Man, I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, like, I can't think of a pun with like.
Yeah.
color
That's what I was
poop.
trying to
You,
figure-
Like-
you
like
saying
lighting up.
it's a good it's a bad joke.
It's a bad joke.
makes me think like I gotta think
Yeah,
of something
yeah, yeah.
stupid. Like
yeah.
It's probably stupider than what you're trying to think of.
Oh, it's even stupider than that.
you would be surprised how stupid I can be.
It barked with delight.
Okay, that's actually not that bad. That's not actually that bad.
That's pretty bad.
I mean, it barked with delight.
With the delight.
Yeah.
Delight.
Yep.
Delight.
I kind of like it.
Oh, okay.
Maybe that says something about me. I kind of like it.
Every time I've ever told that joke, people like look at me and probably thinking, "Why did you waste your breath with that sentence?"
You know what I think? What something that makes it a little bit better is that you offset it by being like, it's a bad joke, and we thought about it so much for so
Intently.
long
Yeah.
that it helped to be like it was like the solution to a puzzle kind of fell
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
place. So it was almost better.
Okay.
But I don't know. Maybe I like it. It's
Maybe
a
that's-
dad joke. So
That's how I'll frame it next
I'm
time
allowed
I
to like
tell it.
those now.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
how. Yeah.
Well,
Barked with
Whoops.
delight.
That was an accident. No, it wasn't. I knew what I was doing. Nobody noticed.
no one noticed.
Nobody
I noticed it.
We won't talk about it.
Oh, okay. All right. Whatever.
Proceed.
Well, thanks for being here, Tim. We love you very much.
Thanks
We're so
for having
glad that you're a part of what we're doing, that it's something that you're doing with us. And we wanted to have you as a guest in season 3, and then we never did.
Yeah.
And so it seemed only fitting for you to be the first guest of when it's so much better.
Well, yeah. I mean, thanks for having me. It was fun.
Yeah.
You know, I love being able to help out. So,
Me and Jude were stonewalling, and then they got majority.
Stonewalling?
what
Yeah.
does that mean?
We were like
It's two
we were
vote-
saying no, and then they were saying
Two
yes.
votes
to
yes,
have
2
Tim
votes
on,
no. So
and
we had to
then-
wait until Jude left.
What's
for
that
us
called?
to-
I thought there's another word for that.
I don't know. There probably is.
A
Stonewall.
befuddle?
A
or something?
befuddle.
A befuddle.
No, when they're
No,
all
you're
meeting,
thinking of
filibuster.
a filibuster, but that's not a
That's
filibuster
not a
because
filibuster.
we're just saying no.
Because
little different.
it's not like an actual tie. A filibuster can just be like, I'm not proceeding.
It's literally
We're
I'm
wasting
just
time.
going to waste as much time as I can as long as I have breath in my lungs. Stalling.
Stalling.
Are we stalling? Are you asking us if we're stalling? I'm not stalling.
No, I think
Dude, I don't like the judgment we're receiving from the
Hardcore judgment.
no, I think it was trying to think like.
Oh,
I was trying to
we-
give us a hint of the
example.
name.
But- for the word.
But yeah.
Anyway,
the next thing's gonna pop up and it's gonna be like,
No, yeah, but we had
you
him
should
on.
have quit while you were ahead or something. Like,
Should
why-
have quit where you were ahead.
Levi's
you
right.
had
I
ahead.
hate to say it.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoy the guest episodes from here on out. Like, we've got some other guest episodes lined up. We want to have more guests. Let us know if you like the way we're doing it now, and if you don't, then let us know that as well. But
And-
go ahead.
Yeah, let us know if you want to see Tim again, or if he should just still be clickety clacking behind a computer screen all the time.
Don't let us know if you don't want to see me again, though. I'm not ready to hear that.
Yeah.
He only likes positive talk.
And feel free, like if you think
Comment
that one of
section
those
is
questions
blank.
we asked him is something that you want to answer, go ahead and answer that in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. You know, I think it's really encouraging to hear from fellow believers. Like, it's essentially part of their testimony, right? Like, who are people in your life who have made a big impact on you? And I'm really glad to hear that Tim has had someone in his life like that, right? A youth pastor or someone who can relate to him and reach him with the gospel and build him up and hold him accountable, right? And I think that that's something that the three of us have talked a lot about. We want to do that for people. I know myself, I want to do that. That's something I want to do through Christian Influence as a ministry. We want to build intentional relationships. So it made me really happy hearing that answer from you, because I was like, dude, easy segue into what Christian Influence is and what we're trying to do with it, right? We want to reach people on the internet who feel trapped there, especially young people, whether they feel trapped there or not. If they are, we want to reach them, and we want to build meaningful relationships with them, build them up, so that they can have important, discipleship and fellowship, and so that ultimately we can reach them with the gospel if they haven't been yet, or if they have, that they can be continued to be made into disciples and hopefully push them into the body of Christ. So that was cool to hear, because it's like, dude, what is Christian Influence all about?
Yeah.
That was awesome. So yeah, you consider that yourself too, listener, right? Like we talked about in the first episode, and so it's on my mind because it just came out and I've been listening to it a lot and stuff. But like we talked about our theme being unity, right? And so there's a lot to be said about what Tim gave as an answer to that question, and our role as Christian brothers and sisters with one another, and how we exemplify unity in the body of Christ, right? And so, thank you. Just drifts in. I think what his youth pastor was doing for him then was a perfect example of what we are called to do in Ecclesiastes 4:12, right? And throughout Scripture, to exemplify unity in the body of Christ. That two are better than one, right? To lift one another up and to push one another towards a more meaningful relationship with God. So consider how you can be doing that, right? Consider how you can do that more meaningfully in the people in your life, or who are the people in your life that are doing that for you, and thank God for them, right? And hopefully do that yourself. So, all right. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for following us on just this journey as we make a better show, and we hope you're enjoying it. Go ahead and like, subscribe, comment, the whole shindig. We love you very much.
Roll the outro.
That's a good one.